All right. Well, good morning, dear ones. Ooh, we're in the forest. All right. It's a forest back here. Oh, wrong shoulder. All right. We are SOTU, and this is SOTUesday for the second day of May in 2017. And so we cannot yell Mayday, Mayday today because that was yesterday, but maybe you can hear the echoes of it when we put up the ninth episode of Conversations with SOTU, which we recorded yesterday. And you may find interesting because what we wish to point out for those of you that are viewing this Tuesday is that these are the presentations that are meant to tie in with the present in the dynamics, and the stuff that we give in conversations is meant to be understood in the dynamic of history and context of the possibilities of the future. So that you are not taken, let us say, unawares by the dynamics that are occurring in your world. And so please understand that this has been a dynamic, a moment in history, in energetics, in electromagnetics, in the dynamic of spirit that has been a repetitive dynamic that has been happening in a repetitive way to you. And we are talking to all of you because it doesn't matter how long that you have been alive. If you have been alive in the world for more than 15 or 20 years, then you will understand that there has been a pattern of dynamics, a pattern of energetics offered to you that are bringing you emotionally repetitive dynamics, usually repetitive dynamics of fear, of rage, of pain, of shame, of whatever your particular situation may be. And so, in the dynamics of your reality, the ultimate difficulty in experience is accepting the duality of your nature, accepting the fact that the negative is as powerful and sometimes much more powerful than the positive in your world, that the dark shadow is, because that is part of the belief that exists in your world. For those very few that achieve enlightenment, there is true empowerment available to you. But for everyone else who's on the path of enlightenment, it seems that you are all subject to the whims of your reality. You are all subject to the whims of negativity. And that comes from a place of not understanding that you are each, all of you, divine beings manifested in physical bodies. We have often spoken and did actually speak yesterday about the dynamic that there's basically two types of people in your world. There are those of you that are what we would call the controllers, but we did not say yesterday, but we will say today that you people who need to control, you are governed by fear. You need to control in order to overcome your feelings of fear. And those of you who have been the live and let live people, who are the other side of the energetic coin, you have allowed yourselves to be disempowered in that dynamic because you are allow yourself to believe that being in the light means that you have to give in to everything, that you have to, compromise to everything. And yet, what we wish you to understand, if nothing else, that these two dynamics are the paradox of your existence. Light shadow, dark shadow, it's the paradox of your existence. And you will find that in the dynamics of the beliefs of both. And if you can examine those beliefs objectively, if you can examine those beliefs from outside of the set in a way, if you can understand them and begin to even to consider them, you are making steps beyond the duality. The way to understand the duality is to understand the polarities of both ends of it. Now, it requires that you step out of your position and walk a mile in the other's shoes. We so love that song. But that is the basic dynamic, is to be able to understand the truth and the lies in both dynamics. Now, those are not equal necessarily, but there is true power in the dark. There is true empowerment in the light. You know, so often you forget that you either create your reality or you allow it. And so if you are in the dynamics of creating your reality, you're making positive steps. But so many of you believe that you're a live and let live kind of person. And so you back off to the dynamic, to those that are more assertive, those that are more aggressive. And yet the dynamic really needs to be, dear ones, that you need to be able to stand up for your right. Isn't that a song? Stand up for your right to live and let live. Different than the song, we know. Stand up for your right to live and let live. And the way to overcome the negativity, dear ones, is to understand that it really has no power over you unless you choose to allow it to have power over you. All right. We love you all. We are SOTU, and this has been a short but sweet SOTUesday for the 2nd day of May, 2017. We'll see you next week. Till then, we close. Sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.